Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our Reading by Design data collection informational meeting for SPED. This meeting is designed to recap the December 16th and 17th meetings that we held at the end of last year. It is my hope that today's synopsis of those meetings will prepare each of you for our February data collection meetings. So if you missed or didn't have an opportunity to attend the December meetings, the information in today's meetings will essentially be a recap of those of the meetings that we held in December. These were the dates that the meetings were held. And like I said earlier, this is going to be a recap of those meetings. So here's our agenda for today. We are going to discuss Reading by Design, the funding and the expectations for the program. We are also going to look at the data collection meeting dates for the rest of this school year. And then we'll review some of the data collection forms and tools that we are going to look at when we meet together on February 8th and 9th. So the visual on the screen is actually showing you that Reading by Design funds were purchased with CCEIS funds. CCEIS stands for Comprehensive Coordinated Early Intervention Services. IDEA Part B requires all state and local education agencies to address the disproportionate representation of racial and ethnic groups in special ed. So, because our district was identified as having significant disproportionality when it came to disciplining African American male students who received SPED services, as reported publicly in the Results Driven Accountability Report last year, we decided to address this goal utilizing a twofold approach, meaning that we were going to utilize Reading by Design to not only support students academically, but also to support them behaviorally and emotionally. The thought process behind that was that there are some students that may be acting out or misbehaving in class because they don't understand the content or the reading or the math, science, social studies content that's out there. So when we purchased Reading by Design, the thought behind that was that we would utilize the Reading by Design program to support the TEA strategic support plan so that so that we would be able to get the RDA accountability where it needs to be. But in addition to that, we also utilize Reading by Design to support our district and our SPED instructional continuity plan. And Reading by Design is an intervention program that also supports our district's literacy applied plan. Um, and that's what this slide is basically showing each of you. This is just a slide to show you what our district's key outcomes are for the district and our SPED instructional continuity plan. I bolded the outcomes that are specific to our students that receive special education services. But we know that while Reading by Design is supporting the district and our SPED instructional continuity plan, which is aligned to the district's plan, it will also support closing the achievement gap of African American and white students by 5% on STAR. It will also support any of these other boxes because, as we know, many of our students that receive special education services, not only are they captured on the STAR when they look at the different areas, but we have students that receive special education services that are part of the early childhood special education program. And we also have students that participate in college, career, military readiness programs. So this slide is just to show you what our key outcomes are for the district's instructional continuity plan if you were not aware or if you just needed a reminder. So this is another way that Reading by Design supports our students. It also supports our district's literacy applied plan. If you aren't familiar with the plan, you can go to our springisd.org website and you'll be able to read up a little bit more about our district's literacy applied plan. And also you can just do a little bit more research and see how our district's literacy applied plan is a prescriptive day-to-day hour-to-hour plan that was drafted to help us ensure that all of our students are provided with the necessary tools, instruction, and opportunity to explore and master the written word, and just to be able to build literacy, because we know that literacy is a strong indicator of student success. So, if you want to read up a little bit more about it, it will be linked to the PowerPoint. I will also send each of you the link to the district's website. So here on the screen, you are able to see the list of data collection meeting dates for the remainder of the school year. On Monday, February the 8th, and Tuesday, February the 9th, we will have February data collection meetings. This is going to be our first virtual meeting, but within this meeting, we are going to review data from January, reading by design data for January. You can look here in this column and see all of the, we're going to meet every month moving forward. Our last virtual meeting is going to be held in May of this school year. So on February 8th and on February 9th, you will be receiving an invite to participate in the Reading by Design data collection meeting. And during that meeting, we're going to review January data for Reading by Design. So some of the forms or data collection tools that we're going to review during the meeting are listed on the slide. And as you can see, we will have a Reading by Design data collection meeting agenda. And this is not anything you have to prepare prior to the meeting. This is a form that I am going to complete, and we will talk through the meeting agenda and complete the form in the actual meeting. So another thing we're going to look at in the meeting is that we're going to utilize EastSped service logs. When you are providing Reading by Design services, you should be logging in the information into EastSped. So what's going to happen is that for every student that receives Reading by Design as an intervention, we are going to just pull those service logs and look at the service log data, and that's going to help us collect data to just ensure that the program is being implemented with fidelity, and that we are providing the services that our students are needing. If you have any questions about the service logs that we are going to review in the meeting, you can ask me at that time, or you can send me an email. Another form that we're going to look at during the meetings is the Reading by Design Mastery Check form. This is something that you should already be collecting. We'll be able to discuss it, and you might even say, like, if you already have the forms, you might decide to go ahead and scan those forms in prior to the meeting. If you do that, that is fine. But this is a form that you are going to be collecting as you work with students, and you'll also bring that form to the meeting with you. Another form that we're going to review is the Reading by Design student intervention implementation log. This log is just going to be a weekly record of your implementation of the student's Reading by Design intervention plan. And all that you would do is you're going to just say, hey, on Monday, I provided the student with the intervention. The student was present. You will say how many minutes you worked with the students. So if you worked with the students for 30 minutes, you put it here. Then you'll respond to this question. Was the student engaged? Was the intervention implemented as planned? And then you can add any relevant notes. The purpose of this form is actually just to track the data on the implementation of the program, because as we know, Region 4 has stated that the program should be implemented at a minimum 30 minutes 4 times per week. And that's at a minimum. So we know that things happen. So let's say you were pulled, you would just, put that in the notes. We know that with the pandemic, we've gone through a lot of changes. So we know that things happen. So should that occur, just go ahead and respond to the log honestly and just state, was the intervention offered on Monday? No. Was it because the student was absent? If the student was absent, you'll just state that. If it was because you were unable to provide those services because you had to cover another class or whatnot, you're just going to list that information there. And that just allows us to see, if our students are growing, if their reading levels are improving, and if we are implementing it with fidelity, because we want to make sure that we know everything that we can know about the data so that we can make sure we're reporting accurate information. The Reading by Design Excel spreadsheet that is listed on the form is optional. You can complete it before if you decide you want to utilize it, but it is not required. This is an optional tool. Um, like I said, the things that are required are going to be the mastery check forms, the Reading by Design student intervention implementation log, and just know that it is a requirement that we document services in EastPed. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to meeting with each of you next week. If you have any questions prior to then, please feel free to send me an email. I will be available on tomorrow, Friday, February the 5th, to answer any questions or concerns that you all have. You will receive an email with the date and time of your data collection meeting. And once again, we just want to thank you for all that you do for our Spring ISD scholars and for being a part of our Reading by Design cohort, the first cohort. Thank you and have a great day.